matches was his logo, so they had to change it.
Let me see. Such a good album, though.
Hey, Gene Simmons, Teenage Fan Club rocks.
I have one, but now I don't even know which one. It just has the symbol in the middle. Everyone's a friggin' videographer.
Yeah, right. Hey everyone, Emma here, also known as 8vinyllow, bringing all of you another video. Today's video is going to be my Chicago vinyl haul video. I recently went into the city, went to some stores, picked up some records, and so I do want to share those pickups with all of you in today's video. But before we get into that, I want to talk about a VC meetup that happened on Thursday. We had a Chicagoland vinyl community meetup with the VC's very own Mazzy, Norman Maslov himself, who flew in all the way from Seattle. Now, he says that it was for Beatles Fest primarily, but I know that he just wanted to hang out with the Chicago crew. We have a great crew of vinyl community members here in Illinois, and it was great to meet up with everyone. Awesome crew. So we had Mazzy, myself, Lovell, Logan, Vance, Jeff Kempin, Jeff E, Andy G, Mike. Links to all the channels down below, by the way. But what an awesome crew, what a great day. We kicked things off at the Hollywood Grill for brunch, and then hit the Wicker Park record circuit. We went to the Reckless Records location that's there, Dusty Groove, Signal Records, and then we wrapped up the day for a few hours getting pizza, drinks, talking music at a place called Peace Pizzeria and Brewery, which is, there's a Rick Nielsen connection there because of course there's always a connection.
Yeah, I'm just gonna serve water. Yeah, just throw a piece or two of it.
Look at Mazzy at work. We ate great food, had some drinks, and after 6 years, I finally got my martini moment with Mazzy. I've been wanting to do that since I first started watching his channel.
And I'm the wimp with the beer.
I also received some really cool gifts, some VCLT. Mazzy had brought for everybody a Sub Pop sticker and a Sub Pop t-shirt, of course Seattle based, which is really cool. So I've always wanted to go to Seattle. Eventually I'll make it, but he brought Seattle to us. So a little Seattle-Chicago mix is always fun. And then this next one was a complete surprise. Logan from Broke on Records completely surprised me at with this next VCLT. We all met at the Hollywood Grill for brunch. He reaches into his bag and pulls out this set list and guitar pick from a Jim Peterick show. Of course, Jim Peterick of Ides of March, Survivor, so on, so many different musical contributions. It would take hours to even name half of them. This was totally unexpected and an extremely thoughtful and awesome gift all the way around. So kind of him to think about me. He knows how much I love Jim, how much I love the Ides, how much they mean to me, but he also knows that I love set lists and collecting picks, and so this is a very special addition to my music collection. I'm excited to hang this up somewhere. I'm running out of wall space, but my kitchen's open, so eventually you'll just see set lists and whatnot in my kitchen. But thank you, Logan, for that. All in all, it was such a fun day. Great people all the way around. It was so nice to see familiar faces. I know Jeff Kempin very well. I've met Vance before, but then also just meet some new people. I've met Logan before, but meet some new people, get introduced to new people. I love the vinyl community. This is what it's all about. I've done my rounds this summer, going around to different meetups and whatnot, and it's always a blast. So if you want to see more footage from the meetup, head on over to Mazzy's channel. He posted this, and I think he said that he edited this at 2 a.m., but he posted the entire meetup in a vlog style. It was extremely well done, well edited, put together, and really captures the spirit of the day and the great time that was had. So please go check that out. I'm going to link it down below. It captures everything from the different record stores to hanging out at Peace and so on. So anyway, with that, let's get into some records. I do want to share what I picked up on this trip. Walked out with 9 records, which was a little more than I was expecting to pick up, but I got really good deals on it, so I'm not kicking myself really, and these are all records that I really wanted. So The first record store that we went to was Reckless Records on Milwaukee Avenue, and I grabbed a few things there. First record that I picked up, love this cover art. This is the Bongos' Drums Along the Hudson. This is the 1982 debut album from a power pop band out of New Jersey called the Bongos, released on this PVC label. You really get your crisp, jangly guitar sound on here, a lot of bright hooks. I wish more people in the vinyl community talked about the Bongos because they're one of those just underrated, fantastic bands. This one is a really solid album. They also on here do a cover of T-Rex's Mambo Sun, which is so good. But here is the back cover. It also came with the original insert. But all in all, this album just has a great flow from start to finish. It sounds great, such a great band, totally underrated. The Bongos, check them out. Numbers with Wings, that's their big one, but their other albums are just as good. The next record that I picked up, some more DBs. I've talked about the DBs a lot on this channel. This is the DBs Revolution of the Mind. I didn't really know a lot about this, but it was $5, and I came to find out that it is a 12-inch EP that was put out by the band on Record Store Day 2013. So you can see pressed on this orange vinyl, which features the original DBs lineup of Peter, Chris, Gene, and Will. It includes 4 tracks that at the time were not previously available. So you had 3 new songs on here when this came out, and then a live recording of their song pH Factor, which I think they recorded a year before this came out. But they were running hot for a couple years. In 2012, they released Falling Off the Sky, and then they released their EP for Record Store Day. So I was so psyched to find this. Super fun find. Like I said, I think I paid $4 or $5, and I love these guys. So grabbing this was a no-brainer for me. They sound great on here. Great tracks off of this album, especially that title track, Revolution of the Mind. Lakefront's a little slower, then you get to Orange Squeezer, and then that live pH Factor. So, love the cover art. Here's the back. Awesome pickup. Last record that I grabbed at Reckless is the king of power pop himself, and that is Mr. Paul Collins. Not Phil Collins, but Paul Collins. Paul Collins of Paul Collins The Beat. Don't get it mixed up with the English Beat. And then also the band The Nerves, another great power pop band that was short-lived but awesome. The title of this album, it's called Stand Back and Take a Good Look. That's actually a take off of a song by The Nerves. So there's a fun fact for you. This came out last year. It was pressed on blue vinyl, came out last year, and was put out by my faves, Gem Records. I absolutely love this label. It includes power pop icons featuring guests like Dwight Twilley, Shoes out of Zion, Illinois, Great Illinois Power Pop, 2020, and so on. So it has a collection. I think he re-records, re-explores some of his older tracks off of here over his career. So it's kind of career spanning, a little retrospective, but he also has some new stuff on here. This is... I will collect anything Gem. I love Paul Collins, especially his stuff with Paul Collins The Beat. So this was a must-have addition into the collection. And the back is that standard Gem Records back there. The next store that we went to was Dusty Groove. I absolutely love that store. I have a soft spot for that store. If anyone visits Chicago, I will always recommend them. Go check out Dusty Groove. And I was able to find some really great records there. I generally do find 1 or 2 gems that I've been wanting for a while. This one falls right into that. And that is Blue Ash. This is their album Front Page News. This was put out in 1977 on the short-lived Playboy record label. This is the second and last official studio album put out by Ohio power pop band Blue Ash. I recently showed their debut album No More No Less about a couple videos back or so. These guys are just so freaking good. Catchy melodies, tight harmonies, extremely energetic, everything you want out of a classic power pop album. But yeah, so they put out No More No Less, then did this one. Came with the original inserts. I was so excited to find this. It's near mint all the way around from the record to the cover. So clean, looks great, sounds great. The record looks great and sounds great. You get a really, really, really happy Emma. So that's how I felt. This next record, this is a band I've been getting into over the last few months, and this is the first record that I own by them, and I do want to pick up more. And that is The Pretty Things. This is their second album, I believe, called Get the Picture? Released in 1965. It includes the song, which is the opening track off of here, called You Don't Believe Me, which was actually written by Jimmy Page. So there's a connection for you, especially Vance, Zeppelin guy, written by Jimmy Page. These guys, especially on here, they have that like rebellious early rock sound, so think of like the Rolling Stones and the Kinks. They have that gritty sound, that great mix of R&B and early British rock. These guys get it done. This particular copy that I grabbed, I learned is a mono reissue from the early 2000s, which sounds great. Here's the back cover there. And this reissue actually comes with a really cool gatefold. So, great band. This copy sounds really good, and I highly recommend it to anybody who likes your early British R&B, early British rock type sound. All right, this one's a little obscure. Didn't know anything about this. Did some research, and I'm like, I am in. This is called When the Manslayers Jam by a band called the Laser Band. Now, I didn't know anything about these guys. These guys are obviously a very obscure band. Came to find out after listening, they're kind of a melodic rock, power pop-esque sounding band from the Chicago music scene of the 80s. This album came out in 1980 on Erect Records. And to make things even more interesting, the lead singer is billed on this record. I think his name's Steve, but they call him Throat. I don't know which one's Throat. I'm assuming that's Throat. So naturally, between Erect Records, obscure bands, Chicago, Throat, naturally I had to buy this. This was a blind buy. I read up on it and I was sold. I opened it up. I listened to it. I'm actually kind of into it. These guys got it going on. Throat has some stuff going on for him here. The other thing I love is I was going through, like, they named their road crew on here, and the first one is called Hack. Hack, Bo, Don, Briz, Za, and T. Come on. Solid album all the way around. When the Manslayers Jam by the Laser Band. It was sealed when I got this. It was like $8. The singer's name is Throat. That's a good buy right there. Solid stuff. Last record store that we went to was Signal Records, and this was actually the first time that I ever went to Signal Records, and I thought it was a great spot. Immediately, right, I walk into Signal, and as I normally do, I walk straight to the new arrival sections, as we do. And immediately, this album popped out, and I was so excited to find this, and that is Matthew Sweet and his album Earth. Hype sticker, clean copy. This came out in 1989. This is pre-Girlfriend fame, Matthew Sweet, released on A&M. This is his second album released. His first one, his debut, I think is called Inside. I still need that one. But in this album, it's very different from his 90s alt power pop sounds. But you can hear Sweet's evolution as an artist on this album. You have tracks like Easy, When I Feel Again. It's a really solid album, and to me, I feel like it definitely lays the groundwork of what's to come for Matthew Sweet in the 80s, or not the 80s, excuse me, the 90s, when he really reaches that peak, especially with Girlfriend and beyond. So really, really great stuff. Matthew Sweet. This is a very 80s sounding record, so just know that going in, it sounds different, but you can tell it's Matthew Sweet immediately. Next one, another thing that I didn't know was a thing until I picked this up, and that is a previously unreleased sophomore album from Zion, Illinois power pop band who I love. This is Shoes, who's also featured on that Paul Collins record that I showed. This was put out a number of years ago, remastered from the original analog tapes by Numero Group back in 2012. When I got this, it was still sealed. So I thought it was newer, but it actually dates back a little bit. It was recorded in 1975, not long after they recorded their debut album, but then this record was shelved due to like financial restraints and all that fun stuff. But this album's freaking awesome. Seriously, you have great harmonies on here. You have guitar riffs. This is a classic sounding Shoes record. They don't miss a beat. Solid power pop all the way around. Total gem. Again, I didn't even know this was a thing until I saw it at the store, and I'm so glad that I picked this up because it's such a great listen. They sound amazing here. Shoes. If you haven't listened to the Shoes, highly recommend checking those guys out in general, but if you didn't know, like I didn't know that they came out with this unreleased Bazooka, now you know. All right. Final pickup of the day is a classic and one that I've needed in the collection for a really, really long time. Every time I come across this album, the cover is shot or the price point is off, at least to me, or the record looks messy, but the time finally came. I had my moment where I actually found a nice copy of this record that looks clean, sounds clean, $20 came home with me. And that is Badfinger's breakthrough 1970 album, No Dice. You have No Matter What, Day After Day, Without You. You can go on and on and on and on. This is a band at their peak that absolutely solidified their legacy. But I needed this in the collection, and I've wanted it for a long time. What an album, what a band, great price on this. I couldn't be more thrilled. There's the label. Just show you kind of how clean it is. For this album, I'm just so happy about it. Then you get the classic gatefold in there. And it sounds so good. So happy about that. But with that, everybody, those are my pickups from the first annual Martini Madness Chicago Vinyl Community Meetup with Sir Mazzy and crew. Again, so great to hang out and see familiar faces, hang out with some of you again, meet some of you. It was awesome. So everybody else, let me know down in the comments below your thoughts on some of these grabs. You know I love to hear from you guys, hear your thoughts, your expertise on things, and so on. So with that, that is it for this video. I hope that all of you are doing well. Go check out Mazzy's Chicago Meetup video, linked down below, that captures the travels of the day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.